And you, my knight. I thank you for speaking to me, for standing vigil at my feet.
I did not think it would end this way. I hoped we could revive her, but I guess it was not to be.
Happily ever after doesn't often happen in life, sadly.
You did well.
Thanks. Take care of yourself.
So long, Witcher.
给我什么书啊？该不会是预言那本吧？这狼不跟我讲话，讨厌。最后一个了。萝卜只会跟我打嘴炮，他不会弃我而去的。
Camp's abandoned, but a lot of this damage is recent. Guess I arrived just a little too late. Should look around still. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Blood of the fresh variety. Monster attack was recent. Scale. Colors unusual. Silver? Never seen one like this. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beasts murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory.
You post those warnings?
Indeed, to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Pay the victim's family's compensation? Why?
These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Beyond them, the basilisk ventures not, hunts not, it does not kill or destroy, provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does...
Your coffers. Got a store of sons and husbands?
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead, but I do make generous restitution to their loved ones. Just last summer, I paid this unfortunate merchant's family.
Claim this to be the last surviving...
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the...
Mean to suggest a direct correlation?
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forest, when roe deer grew scarce. And thus, we've come to this one last specimen.
Eocost?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. Eocost was brooding.
Who exactly are...
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, as family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time.
Malarkey. Where's the basilisk?
Of course I've an idea, but you don't really expect me to tell...
Find it myself, then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints.
其实我觉得不该杀他，杀那只马，杀那只龙。依照现在的环保意识来说，我也觉得不该杀。
Strange. These burn marks. Beast venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic.
It is so indeed. A wound from a sterling basilisk festers long.
Need to brew a potion that'll neutralize that. Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Yokoko is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale. Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose.
Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Bloodstains. Clear as day. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices?
Yamo, Harry, prepared. And who might you be?
Funny.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your brethren in arms. Boholt, Kenneton Desperate, New Boy too.
Ah, you're that witcher. Aye, Boholt.
a professional. Good you came along. Could use another pair of hands.
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel.
我觉得不能杀欸。
Basilisk lives for now.
A witcher defending a beast.
Ah, no
I did indeed. And the word once given,
your share, Witcher.
Easiest job I've ever done. Godspeed.
Godspeed, boys.
you spared your caste. I thank you.
Gotta try harder.
That I shall do. Master, you must accept more. Be
Don't need any more.
noble of you, Master. Your caste has flown her nest.
Must have sensed a threat.
She'll return. Always does. I suspect I might even know where she's gone. I tracked her away and believe she might have found a new mate. It's an ordinary basilisk, not a silvery one.
Oh,
But something might come of it. Who knows?
Sure hope not. Take care.
哇，结果什么都没拿到，真无聊。Oh god，要解主线吗？顺便解这个好了。哦，
So what did it be? Damn drifty dick.
Lads, charge! Take it for a ride!
靠边。哎，靠腰啊！
Not good.
20年了。 游戏突然变得好简单。打怪物窝喽！该不会怪物窝就是那个什么石化机蛇？对啊。
Whoa there, Roach.
野咖，该不会 Kimo 吧？
Need to look around.
我快要把猫解完了，找很久。好强，好强，这上小。
Witchers felt it. The urge to drop it all and ride off into the sunset. This one decided to act on the urge. Costs be damned. Diagrams have a sad history, but I'll make good use of them.
Hello. 还没解完啊？我解完了。好扯哦，真小啊。情书，这叫沏唱。靠北。所以刚才那是正确的出去的路。物质，哇，好吧。解主线。我先去尿尿。 对啊，多主线啊。哎，干你娘！看到就尿尿。没有，摔手机。摔手把根本不会叫。
Witcher or not, you still could butt your bum.
Move it!
真讨厌。哎，这我们又来过干。
Regis. Could have picked some other place to meet. Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here. Decaying bones. Ikimors must have tunneled into the grave. Ikimors. There's plenty around here.
我记得我之前来的时候就已经清过。 我记得我搜刮过了。Regis。
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
What?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out, but Bruxa had taken an interest in it.
这该不会是你的手吧？
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
The hand.
You've heard of Kobinaris.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in but if memory serves, Covenarius never managed to prove it.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Covenarius gave a rather poetic name, resonance. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff?
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me,
Last resort?
There is a being who can... But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to an exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were culled to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
他就把那只手突然自己长出身体来了。 这么香香。感吸血鬼好很厉害。
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned, him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Not really in the mood for your concoctions, especially given how they make you say things you'd rather keep to yourself. Remember that aspect very well.
Geralt of Rivia, do I detect a guilty conscience?
Not about to fall for that. Forget it. Need a nap, and that's how I'm gonna use this time.
这怎么睡得这么信任他？
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
是哦。我想说，可以选，就是选一些不一样的东西。我不太想再玩一次第二游戏，而且我下一款游戏我想玩《Hollow Knight》。这个讲，我们可以就会去玩《Hollow Knight》。看，你这样一讲下来，我想重读了。
Appreciate the
You were right. No kobold.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall it?
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook
Sorry, Geralt. I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct.
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you,
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit...
What's your point? I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent.
What exactly did
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to...
So,
Yes.
tomes? Thought...
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome.
All right.
And to you, my friend.
重读了。 也是啊，虽然喝的不一样，
I've sweat dripping down my bum
这
furrow.
是个药厂医生啊。不行，我喝的酒都是冷小味。而且我是有意识的冷小味，所以我知道我做了什么事情。
Regis. Some other place to meet.
画了一下。真的 Excalibur 真的超强。哦，我看了几刀啊！
Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the police right. This is it. Gotta be. Another way around here. Could have looked.
What about true?
Come on. And
Wherever.
off hand with
It's dead, lass.
the.
You've heard.
But if
He. It's.
How's it work?
We must put this.
Any
Indeed.
ring?
It come. You might.
Respect.
Precise.
Can't you?
If.
Last.
But the very. An ex.
Cool.
You guessed.
There's my move. What was
A raven? Perhaps it will. Sadly, this is but a week.
even better? I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things that.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer?
So, think you've set a nice little trap for me?
I love a challenge. In that case, my ears are cocked. What must I do?
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Curious what you did.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make...
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Yeah.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems that's
True enough. But it's... Gotta ask you the big question.
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
所以吸血鬼带出世界里面，他到他定义来讲，只有死之
Can't
后
have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
没有意识的
Indeed,
状态
it's
然后也无法
it's hard to compare to anything I
深入
know.
思考
Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
因为他的比喻很正确。
Got a new life.
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What did
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same. If it...
all addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just...
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible. As my presence proves. But I've heard you too had...
For a bit. But Triss helped me get it back. Actually pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help.
所以只有吸血鬼跟吸血鬼
However,
比较少
if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
That's what interests you most? Whether...
Many things interest me, but we've not much...
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that'd earn me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend.
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer.
Okay, let me take a nap.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none.
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white.
Impossible. My breath.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about...
Know anything else?
I don't recall much in particular.
Come on, search your
I believe it had a... Sorry, Geralt, I try not to... What are your thoughts? Ah, professional curiosity.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less...
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white...
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly...
What exactly?
The area around the...
Spoons.
Spare me the skeptical smile, I'm but...
Let's do this. Start making...
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary gland.
For a moment there, I imagined you asked...
So, see you later.
Yes,
Tomes? Thought you were gonna...
We require one last ingredient.
All right.
And to you, my friend.
Okay. What the?不知不觉就升级了。
Faster. Go, go.
I stock the larder.
哎，没事。
Our guests. Never a good omen. Sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around.
千寻羽喵。斑纹妖狐。这个吗？不是。斑纹妖狐。OK。哦，真的。雅灯。啊，动脑。好吧。嗯？你的 ID 我没印象诶，你是第一次来吗？
What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old.
之前国小的时候看被朋友要去看霹雳，因为他是超级忠实的霹雳。
No spoon you have
所以
shall
我现在
sink
觉得
you.
进攻比较好看。
Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. A spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector.
不知道啊，等一下就关了吧。看。
White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred.
但是不会看很久。而且我开
Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head
我也
with
是能
something
开到头
heavy.
上的啦。卖镜子。好的，好多汤匙。
Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic.
歌舞吗？先不要走下去。干，可以不要再慢慢开吗？操！诶，等一下，感谢追随，但是我没看到你 ID， 是你吗？千寻羽喵。紫竹在我这边很久了，你们是朋友吗？现实的朋友之类的。诶， 诶，刚才到底是什么声音？嗯？
Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster.
损的日记。啊，我不知道刚才是不是那个，不知道刚才是不是那个following 的音效。
Recorded in her diary. Poignant. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship must have graced a rich man's table. Smashed mirror, as if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe?
好多汤匙啊！真的是很抱歉，我没有办法玩到天亮。
Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table's set. White who lives here is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait.